One
What's
and one
going on?
quarter.
Shut up. What's going on, everybody? This is Ronkly here for the Six Gaming Podcast, filling in for the deployed Shosan, and I've got the usual cast of characters here this week. You can see Veg there checking his phone.
Damn it! I'm doing good.
Say hi, Veg.
Superman
that's
does
in
good. You doing well. Learn some grammar, son.
And that there is our Mr. Bob Ross, who's not sounding very Bob Rossy this week.
He's going gangsta.
Uh-oh. Don't you do it. Don't you do it, Veg.
I'm a gangster. I'm a straight up G. The gangster life is the life for me.
Oh, God.
Everyone pour
big
out a little
oh.
bit of your drink in memory of Veg's sanity.
Yes, and making Richard drink heavily with his Veg. Richard, say hi.
How's it going, everyone?
All right. So, yeah, we got a full lineup for you today, starting with our news of the week. Veg, you've got a lot. Why don't you start?
Yes, I got a couple things. This week, GameStop is starting to implement in Philadelphia fingerprinting for trade-ins. So yes, makes sense.
Wait, when did the NSA take over GameStop?
Well, they don't trade in games anymore. They're basically becoming pawn shops.
They've always
Essentially
been
for
pawn
electron-
shops.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well-
but they'd have all kinds of stuff, not just games.
Yeah, not anymore. You can sell your phone there, iPad, anything there now that's electronic-wise. They will buy in movies. They will buy it. So essentially, they are becoming pawn shops, and they're starting to implement this in Philadelphia. It's only Philly right now, where apparently there has been a lot of problems with people stealing iPads and a whole bunch of other electronic devices. They're trying to cut that down because, as you're aware, if any pawn shop is caught with materials that are stolen, they have to be confiscated. And the same thing's happening in GameStop. They're losing money that way. So
oh, man.
now what they're doing is they're getting people's fingerprints, and if this item is stolen, they're like, oh, hey, that douche has that item, or that he's the one that sold it to us. Arrest him. pretty much.
Now what many of you may not know is that one of our special guest podcasters, also known as the 40-Man Raid, Veg's mom, Amy, she's in the Philadelphia area. We should have had her on to do like a special on-the-scene investigative report.
She's not home right now.
But yeah, that's pretty
I'm from
crazy.
Philly too, you jackass.
Yeah, but you're not in Philly right now. We couldn't.
Neither
send
is
you to Philly
she.
to
She
report.
lives in Downingtown.
That's close enough. She can drive to Philly.
Close enough. She could still be the chief Philadelphia correspondent. I mean, there you go.
Yeah,
I
there
just-
you go.
From the Philadelphia Bureau, I just want to see her like standing out. Like it'll be raining. She'll just have her hand on her ear and be like, "Hi, Ron. This is Amy. I'm down here. I'm down here at GameStop, and we have got a story for you."
Even though this GameStop's been closed for 2 hours,
Yeah,
we
right?
can't interview anybody.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that's kind of crazy that they've gotten into the. I mean, is their business doing that bad that they have to start pawning things?
It's something that they wanted. No, they've been doing that for years now, though.
Yeah, but they have to start competing with Steam sales because digital distribution is going to start destroying them.
Well, they have been destroying them. They've been doing sales like Steam. Like, for example, I don't know if it's still going on or not, but there's $10 for the trifecta of Mass Effect. So,
Yeah, there you go.
so you get 1, 2, and 3 for $10. I don't know if that's still going on or not. But yeah, they're going. They've been buying everything lately, except for guitars and other stuff that pawn shops would.
I'll give it time. Give it time.
Oh yeah, 2 years down the road. This used to be a GameStop. Oh, it still is GameStop. Where's the games?
I mean, at one time, MTV showed music videos as hard as it is to believe.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's gonna
Actually,
be like
they
a
started
Radio
bringing them
Shack.
back. They've actually been bringing music videos back on MTV. Yeah.
There.
And my other piece of news today is that Japan is officially banning and shutting down more than hundreds upon hundreds of anime websites online that aren't recognized by Japan. So if you have...
So if
so,
there
like-
was like a Chinese anime, it would be shut down?
No.
Like, what do you
No.
mean?
Anime is anime.
But they're basically banning
But
all the streaming
they're
sites that are
yeah they're
streaming.
all the anime sites for it. So Netflix, Crunchyroll, or something like that is not going to be affected. Neither is Hulu. So anyone who pretty much bought the anime, straight up, is fine. It's all the illegal sites, pretty much all the
Legal
pirating,
sites. Okay, you didn't say that.
Hmm.
That's where I was confused.
because you tried to stop me.
You didn't.
Don't stop the planet. I
You
will
can't
run your
stop.
ass over.
No, you'll
A
just
ruling veg gathers no moss.
Oh my god. So that's been going on pretty much, and I am a pretty big anime fan. I'm not gonna sit here and lie about it, but
He likes the tentacles.
no, not that kind of. I'm not into that thing. No, Ron, just shh. So I hate you so much.
Yes.
Yeah, he's into yaoi. I mean, it's like
No! No! Ugh,
Yeah.
Yaoi.
that is
Yeah.
some nasty stuff.
it's anime, right? I mean, it's robots and nurses and explosions and stuff, right?
We're not even 10 minutes in, folks, and we're already talking about the hentai. All right. That's what I call a podcast.
You're the one that brought it up. I'm not the one that's saying nothing. But if you want to hear something even funnier,
Sure.
Pornhub is not going to be affected by that.
Okay.
Because
Are they official?
That's news, folks.
That was part of the news.
That's-
Like a random tidbit, it said Pornhub is not affected by this event.
I'd like to say that's interesting. I'm not
Yeah.
going to.
Which just makes this even worse and awkward. So
Yes. So
I'm-
now that
I'm
we've
done
got
with
the
my news.
awkward out of the way. You got anything else there?
no, unless someone else is going to take the thing from WoW.
Yeah.
Is anyone going to?
Oh, yeah, Pem's do that. So Pem,
Yep.
what you got?
So of course they had the Azeroth choppers thing, and completely unsurprising to anyone who was watching it in any way. After the Horde bike one, and everyone gets it for free.
What? No.
Yeah. So
That's
after
not what we're
that,
supposed to be surprised
after that
with.
one won, and everyone gets it for free on their Horde characters, of course everyone's like, well, but what about the Alliance one? And of
Well, the
course they're
Alliance
like,
one
well,
lost, bitches.
you can buy it. It'll be a gold sync. And when someone asked about the price,
Wait, hold on, but just so you do it. What? They're putting the Alliance chopper in the game?
No.
my Gerd,
Oh,
Oh my god.
Orion Chopper.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pantherian. You hear all
That was a little too good there, Pet.
this. Right?
That must have sounded a lot better to you guys than to me.
Oh, that sounded great.
Anyway.
Oh,
So when someone asked about how much it was going to be, the response from the Blue, I think, was think about like the Mammoth, the Tundra Mammoth, which was about I think 112K or something like that.
120K before discount, if I remember.
Yeah. I think with discount, it's like 110 or 112 or something like that. So start saving.
Yeah, right.
Or send
if
me
you're
cookies.
or if you're Pantherian or Brox,
You already have
just
it.
don't spend. Pretty much. So yeah, Alliance Chopper coming in the game. All right.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Shiny snowmobile.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Brox. What do you
Orion Sharper.
got? Jesus. Oh, let's move on to Brox before we completely lose this podcast.
Yeah, so my news of the week is about PlayStation Now. I mean, that's the streaming technology that PlayStation 4 is going to be used to. At first, they announced it. They said, okay, you can play all your old PS3 games, PS2, and PS1, and all that. Since it's not backwards compatible through hardware, they're going to do it all streaming somehow through Magic. And so they've had a closed beta for a while for the PlayStation 3 only, and some of the pricing was a little steep for the pricing for it, and so it just came into open beta this past week. And predictably, the the collective internet is all over it in terms of how bad this is. You don't own any of the games outright. You rent them for the low price of some games of $7.99 for 4 hours of gameplay. You can rent it.
What?
Yeah, seriously. So, I mean, like, for example, and some of these are even for old games. I mean, like, for Final Fantasy 13 too. You can rent it for 4 hours for $5. You can rent it for 90 days for $30. You can buy it brand new from Amazon for $17.
Are they using the pricing scheme from Days Inn, like motel video game controllers hooked up to the TVs?
Yeah.
I'm guessing, like, as soon as you sign up for this, they're going to send you that that faux N64 controller you just plug into the PS4 and make it worthwhile. But I mean, the pricing is just insane on this. I mean, and Sony, I mean, a lot of the major gaming media has gone through and asked them and said, is this what the final price is going to be? And Sony says, well, it's just a beta. We're going to go through and we're going to see what they're, see how it plays out, and listen to comments that our players are having and decide what the final pricing scheme is. Which to me says we're going to see how much we can squeeze every little penny out of them and find the highest price possible that people are still willing to pay.
Pretty much.
So
are they giving you an option to buy these at all?
Right now, there's no option to buy them at all. I mean, it's just, for some of these games, if you want to keep playing them, let's say you do the 30-day rental, I mean, you're paying effectively more than 4 times the cost of the game just to play it for a year.
No, it's important to point out, though, that almost any digital game that you buy today on Steam, on Origin, licenses that you buy on Amazon, in almost all those cases, you are buying a license to use the program, and you are not buying the software. So while in this case they revoke your rights to use the software, for any other software that you buy today, you are not buying a copy of whatever The Witcher. You are buying the right to use their version of The Witcher, and at any point they're able to revoke that should for some reason they want to do that.
Exactly.
Well, they've done that forever. I mean, this goes back to before the internet.
Well, sort of, but I mean, ever since we went, when you bought well, I guess there were some games where you would buy a CD and you would have that media with the program on it, but you were buying a license to use it. But usually you were buying the rights to use it indefinitely, whereas now you're not necessarily doing that.
Right.
Right, and then what makes this a little different is I mean, you're not even downloading the entire thing. You're streaming all the content from their servers. So even with digital distribution, with Steam and whatnot, especially with the third-party games in Steam that are not from Valve, of course, if you know where to look, there's cracks for just about any of them available. So even if you download them from Steam, for example, you can still crack them, so they'll work without the Steam system. With the PlayStation Now, there's no way to do that. I mean, everything is on the server. It's just it seems very similar to the streaming that Steam is doing, where it's just passing through the video and your inputs, and that's it. Everything is all the software is actually running on their servers somewhere. So I mean, it's even worse than just paying for the right to use it with a license, through Steam or some of the other digital platforms, because I mean, you don't even have any option whatsoever. Once that runs out, there's nothing you can do. And Sony, I was really pulling for them. They were doing really good seemed like they were moving more towards being friendlier to the gamers, but this kind of seems like a big step back.
Hey guys, we're doing a lot better than Microsoft. Let's screw it up.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly.
Let's give Microsoft that foothold to climb back.
But Microsoft is no different in this respect. I mean, last week EA announced a very similar system on the Xbox One for EA games, where it's a rental type of thing. So I mean,
I think we had that as on the podcast too, didn't we?
I believe so. Yeah.
I think one of us mentioned that. So.
I really hope this doesn't become a standard.
Now, if it becomes a subscription, like a Netflix type of thing, even if it's $15 a month, I think a lot of people would buy into that. Where you have a subscription to it, you can play as much as you want to, and there's that instead of having to pay per game, more than what it's worth new. Exactly.
It's completely stupid the way they have that.
If they can turn it into a subscription, they'd be minting money right there.
Yep.
It's like playing a MUD in 1995.
Yeah. Well, all right. Anything else?
That's it. That's all I got.
All right. So let's before I get to the main thing that I wanted to get to, I want to bring up something that Coles had brought up on the 6 Minutes to Release Facebook page, and this is about the Xbox One. And apparently they have secured what's going to be the first Xbox MMO. And it's Neverwinter.
Interesting.
Now, we've talked about Neverwinter on the podcast some time ago. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of it. I leveled a character to 60 on the beta and didn't think it was all that. But yeah, they're hitting the Xbox One. They're going to release it sometime in the first half of 2015, and it will be released simultaneously in North America, Europe, and China. Now that's a big deal because China is a huge market. I mean, we're talking billions of people that they could reach through this. So, despite the title maybe not being the best one that they could port to the Xbox, they're going to do it. They're going to do it in China, and China's going to, they're going to pay a lot of money for this, I think.
Well, my thing is, I know Destiny's coming out soon, and it's going to have some stiff competition with that because Destiny's an MMO as well. But it's not the first free one, though. No.
Right.
But at the same time, Destiny, it's kind of like mediocrity versus something that's cutting edge and brand new.
Yeah.
Because I was with you with the beta on Neverwinter, and it was a generic MMO, to say the least. Oh, I'm a mage. Frostball. And then,
I'll say this. That was the first MMO that I played that was 100% skill shot based, and it felt different for a while. And I'd say about level 40 to 45, it started feeling very repetitive. And I'll be honest, WildStar's getting that way to me too. I don't know if any of you've tried WildStar at all.
Like I said, I won't play it until you buy me it. So.
Right. Yeah, me and Kathy have leveled up a pair of tunes, and it's starting to get the same way where the whole skill shot thing is, it gets old after a while. The only thing that's keeping us going right now is like the story. It's still a fun game. I like it. Oh, it's way better than Neverwinter was.
Don't ever play Terra for its story.
I won't, trust me. But yeah, anyway, the Xbox One is coming to China September 23rd for what should amount to about a $600 price point there. So,
God. Are they really driving that 600 still?
they are still
I know-
trying to drive that 600, yes.
Because I know in the Americas it's down to the amount of the PS4 now because they realized, oh, we messed up.
Mhm.
Like, they're probably thinking that they're going to get their capital back from China, or at least some of their money back because
Is the China one going to have the Kinect pack-in, or are they doing just the base system like it's on sale in the U.S. now?
I would imagine that it's with the Kinect.
Well, you can't do anything without the Kinect.
Well, they're selling it without the Kinect.
Yeah, they're selling it without the Kinect now. They kind of backtracked and said, oh, maybe you don't need this for core system support. And what's interesting is, developers are saying once you remove the Kinect from the equation, they've got another 20% of processor time they can use.
One of the funny rumors I heard was apparently that Microsoft was getting too many dick pics on the Kinect.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, apparently they were accidentally screenshotting naked people in the Kinect.
Awesome.
Oh, that's funny.
And Veg has a collection of those.
No, I don't have a. Shut up.
All right. So yeah, that's my
own
Xbox
it.
One news. I also have a second piece of news. I thought about saving this for the LCS portion of the show, but I've got so much for that as it is, and this is actually what I feel is a larger issue. So, to give a background on this, a team by the name of LMQ came over to the United States back in December with the goal of making it to the North American LCS and basically raffle stomping as many people as they could. And up to about, I'd say, June, their story went as planned. They made it through the Challenger Series as the #1 team. They took out XDG in 3 straight games, if I remember right.
Yeah, best out of 5, and they whomped them.
Yep. And they come into week 1 of Super Week of the summer split, and they go 4-0. They dominate the league. They're in first place or have a share of first place from wire to wire, just about. And it looks like, now I've seen a couple of their games, so I'm not going to say it's completely fallen apart, but it looks like it's starting to become a bit unhinged. what has happened is that one of their they're backed by a team, and I'm trying to find the name of the team, the name of the team. It's like A and something.
AK and K.
AK and K. So they've owned the team, um, but at some point, it looks like that the player contracts got transferred to a newly formed team called Luyu, Luyu. And there's been a whole slew of rumors. And let me tell you, this is probably going to make a great movie someday with some of these rumors. Like, for instance, the players were taken out to dinner one night against the team manager's will, and apparently she got pissed off about it. Got a couple of big bulky men to come back to the house, their gaming house, and start really, threatening to rough up people for, not going against the wishes of AK and K. So these two, I don't know if you can really call them teams, but like companies that own the team would be a better way of putting it. It's really hard to tell what's going on, and what's unfortunate about this is that you've got these 5 players on LMQ that are in the middle of all this. And I thought when they lost to, or I thought when they beat TSM yesterday that maybe they'd gotten over it, but they lost to Curse, and they lost badly to Curse. Yeah, it was a long game, but they were never. I don't think they were ever in it.
Yeah, I honestly think they need to kick her out.
Well, they've already said they fired Sharon, which was their team manager.
Damn.
She was on LCS as late as week 9. Earlier this week, their coach quit because of the turmoil that was going on. So, I don't know what's going on with this, but one of the things I think this highlights is esports is a young, I don't know what you want to call it, a young industry.
It's like a little puppy.
Yeah, and we've seen issues like this before. If you remember the episode with Promise earlier this year, where he jumped from what was it, a 9-story hotel,
11-story building, and he lived.
11-story hotel, and he lived fortunately, but and this was all because of his team's corruption and throwing games and stuff like that, purposely throwing games. And I think the bigger conversation here is, what are companies like Riot going to do about this? What can they do about this? Because this isn't the kind of stuff you see in, professional sports. I think about the worst thing that we've seen in professional sports in the last 20 years is the whole thing with Sterling, and the NBA. And I don't think that's anywhere near as serious as this, because the players aren't throwing. They're not wanting to throw games. Sure, they might be affected by it, but it's not like, it's an ownership scandal, sure, but it's on a completely different level. It's entirely different. So I don't know. I just wanted to ask. Maybe you guys have some insight onto this. Bet you're more familiar with it than these other 2 guys.
Honestly, there was a couple problems with Dota 2 as well. A couple teams from Korea were basically where one person or one team manager said, "Oh, we're being sponsored by these guys. They are our main backer," and then another manager said, "No, I want this guy as our manager or as this team sponsor." And what normally happened was that neither of them would get out, or neither would end up owning the sponsorship spot for them, or they wouldn't own the team at all, and they would go up for bid. It's happened a few times actually.
Huh.
StarCraft 2, it's happened with EG, the Korean EG.
EG being Evil Geniuses, same as
Evil Geniuses. It almost happened to the European one. Fortunately, they fixed it right before they went to the courts. It's kind of like they don't know what's going on exactly right now. It seems like it's like kind of like he/she bullshit.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it comes down to.
That's what it seems to me right now. But like I said, you got these 5 players. They have to play this week in the Super Week, with the first place on the line. These are not old people here. We're talking about kids just out of school.
Or still in school.
Yeah, in some cases, yeah. They've not had this kind of pressure to perform. before. Maybe with the exception of who was it that was the season 3 finalist? Was it Joey Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, not everyone has had to deal with this pressure before, which I think it just kind of sucks that they're stuck in the middle of this and not really a whole lot they can do about it.
It kind of reminds me of something happened in NASCAR a while. It was a couple of years ago where I think it was either one of the Bush brothers. They lost their sponsorship for them doing their own thing, but it kind of reminds me of that a little bit because, that was pressure for him to find a sponsorship for his own car.
Yeah, but that's because he screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
This is not on the fault of any of the LMQ players. I think those.
Well, it was also it was also on the fault of the team because someone else tried to buy him out, and then it was just a stupid ownership. Yeah.
No. And I just wanted to quote one thing from Riot here. They said, "Our top priorities are to represent the best interests of the players and maintain a positive, healthy environment for them to continue to compete within the LCS." So it sounds like that they're willing to work with the players, and maybe not so much the team. I don't know. So.
Oh, hopefully they might give him housing if they get kicked out or something.
Yep. So, anyway, that's all I had for news this week. Anyone else got anything before we move on?
People are stupid.
Yes? I agree. All right, so with the news behind us, let's move on to the game pick of the week.
Pick of the week.
Yeah. Richard, let's start with you. What you got?
I've been playing a lot of Bravely Default, which I've had for a while and kind of keep picking up and putting down for various reasons.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
What the hell's happening in our chat room?
Oh, nothing important. Why?
Wait, what's going on in our chat room?
Am I looking at the wrong
No,
one?
I see it too. It's like 4chan just invaded.
Is it a bunch of penises?
Veg, they want you to show your boobs.
Not yet, but they do want you. They do want to show your boobs. You don't want that, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want that. Please riot. We prefer that you riot. All right, let's go on. The game pick of the week. Richard, go ahead.
Yeah, so I've been playing a lot of Bravely Default, which is for the 3DS, and it's a Final Fantasy game in all but name. I mean, it's the exact same spells as Final Fantasy, even named the same. Cure, Curaga, Cura, things like that. It's got a job system almost identical to that of Final Fantasy 3 or Final Fantasy 5. I mean, it's like a modern day Final Fantasy. Nice thing is it has a lot of conveniences for people on there as well. In terms of, of course, you can just about save anywhere. I mean, the save points are pretty liberally scattered around. But you can also dynamically change difficulty. I mean, let's say you're in the middle of a dungeon, or kind of deep in there. You got 3 people dead. You have no more cure items. We just go and change difficulty, set your encounter rate to negative 100%, and just kind of waltz your way out of there. Without having to, die and waste who knows how much grinding you did, which is really nice. And of course, it's supportable. It's nice for me these days because with a toddler running around the house, it's nice to be able to shut the lid and be done with it immediately without having to say, okay, hey man, you got to wait for like 5 minutes to get to the next save point type of thing. And so it's just kind of nice, kind of like a modern nostalgia type thing, because it really reminds me of playing some of these old Final Fantasy games, but with, like I said, a lot of the new conveniences set in there.
Right.
And it can actually be pretty difficult. And playing on the hard difficulty setting, I'm pretty surprised with the challenge through. I mean, you really have to grind quite a bit if you want to stay competitive in it. Yeah. And it's also interesting in that it does use. I mean, it's kind of cobbled by Nintendo's weird online system of having to input specific friend codes for each person that you want to add on a by-game basis. Mm-hmm. But what's nice is if you have other friends that are playing it, you can add them and have them come in almost like a summon, during battle, and have them, you can have your friends select an attack that they would use, and they would come in the battle and do the summon and help you out, which is kind of nice. If you don't have any friends that play it, then it'll each time that every day you can connect to the Nintendo Network and have it randomly select 3 people that it would pull in as well, and you can summon any of those people, which is kind of nice. And so it's kind of interesting, I mean, there is also some people say like a free-to-play mechanic to it, in that they do have things you can purchase. I mean, you can purchase extra turns in battle, so if what that does is it lets you kind of freeze time and have up to 3 extra turns in battle for a small fee. The thing is it's not a pay-to-win, because you don't have to do that at all. I mean, every 8 hours that you have the game just 3DS closed and sleeping, then you earn one of those. And you can only hold 3 at any given time anyway. So you leave the game alone for 24 hours, and you come in, and it's the same as just spending $2 on these extra turns, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, there you go. So how do they get away with ripping off all the Final Fantasy stuff?
I think it's actually the old like the original Final Fantasy development team, and it is published by Square Enix.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, and so it's the team that did up to, I believe, Final Fantasy X. So they did all of the mainline games up to Final Fantasy X, and so then they made this. And so it's kind of the reverse of a lot of the games that were coming out in the 90s, where they were not Final Fantasy games and they would slap the name on. I mean, the Final Fantasy Legend series for the Game Boy were all, in Japan, they were Saga. They were Saga Frontier and things like that. They came to the U.S. market, they put Final Fantasy Legend, Final Fantasy this, Final Fantasy that, because it would sell. And so I found it interesting. This is basically a Final Fantasy game that doesn't have the name. It's kind of the reverse of what was going on back then.
Huh. Well, pretty neat.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. So, Penth, what you got?
I'm sorry, I'm distracted by whatever is going on in our chat. I don't know what is happening.
I just
It's
scare them.
amazing, I know that much.
Yeah, they really want to see Vege's boobs. I mean,
Nobody wants to see that, man.
That my pick is that Veg needs to show him boobs so that we see what happens.
Please don't. Please don't. Let's.
Audience, what do you say?
I'd put
What do you
$5 down.
say?
What do you
Yay
think?
or nay? Yay or nay?
They're saying yeah. They say at least a nip slip, Veg.
They want at least a slip.
Oh my god.
There's the face palm. There we go.
What the hell does rehab? Oh.
All right, let's stay on track here. Game
Okay, yeah, I have no idea what's going on there. So my game pick for this week is Divinity Original Sin, which is a prequel to Divine Divinity and whatever the sequel to that was that I can't remember right now. It is. I haven't played it very much. A friend has it, and I'm probably going to buy it. It was kickstarted, and it is a old school RPG in the style of Baldur's Gate. It is hard. There are not like quest markers necessarily, and sometimes like the quests don't like it just says here's some quests for you to do, and it doesn't say, oh, this is a level 2 quest and this is a level 10 quest. So you might go into an area and just get massacred, and you learn that that's not a place where you need to be going yet. There's a ton of crafting. There's a ton of spells and stuff. It's just a really neat, expansive game that you can sink a lot of time in. And I guess there's like 2 main characters, and then each of you get a henchman. But you can also play co-op, drop in, drop out, where you take over the other person's main, their main guy. So, or their other main character rather. So. Yeah, it's a pretty neat game, and it's $40 right now. Waiting for it to come down to buy it myself.
It looks like you can even create some of your own adventures as well.
Yeah, it's got a whole basically the tool that they use to create the game. They give it to you with the game, so you can create entire adventures yourself too.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, pretty neat. So, Divinity, Original Sin. All right, Veg, what you got? Game over.
God.
Veg just got a
this
face palm.
chat.
Your 5th or 6th face palm tonight.
This chat, my God. I feel like we just got into a Call of Duty chat stream.
For anybody who listens to this later on iTunes or SoundCloud or whatever, about 5 to 10 minutes ago, like 10, 12 people joined our chat, and it's almost like 4chan just dropped by to say hello.
And it's not the first time this has happened to me either. I had this happen to me live during a Diablo stream one night. My wife happened to be in the chat too at that night, and she played along with them. It was great.
I think they just arbitrarily are choosing Twitch streams and popping around and saying hello to everyone.
Yep.
So
and so Thunderized, whoever you are, dude, enjoy. All right.
Thunderized.
Yeah, apparently that's their next target. So.
Oh yeah. Apparently he's fapping, so good luck on that.
Yeah, I wasn't going to include that, Veg.
Anywho, mine this week. I've been getting back into the Mass Effect series, so I went into Mass Effect 3. A very cool feature that EA did with this series was with 1, 2, and 3 was you could build your own character, give them a little bit of details or a whole bunch of details, kind of like Skyrim or anything from Elder Scrolls series. Pretty much, it's not as finite or as detailed, but it's pretty unique to say the least. And the neat thing about it is once you beat the first one, it saves your progress and it loads it into the second one. Once you do the second one, you can import it into the third one.
That's pretty neat.
So whatever happened, for example, if key characters died off, it will record that. If you saved everybody, or or if you save certain people, you'll see them in the next one. And it's pretty cool how they did it. The second one kind of screws up with the third one a little bit for certain key heroes. You can't control whether they live or die unless you buy a DLC. So it's completely random, and it kind of annoys me that it happens like that, but it is what it is.
What's random?
If you don't get the DLC for Mass Effect 2 to get the story arc part of it, it will randomly kill off either Ashley or the other guy. They don't give you a choice.
Oh, you mean to be able to choose if you go into 2 without having played 1?
Yeah.
Oh, so it will randomly do 1. No, I think when you do 2, I don't think it's DLC. I thought that when you start 2, you can say what happened in 1.
That's the DLC arc.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun to play. The third one includes a multiplayer, which is basically just a giant survival game, like clear the waves, and get to the extraction point and leave. There's a lot of and it's kind of weird how they set it up because there's a preparation thing for it, which magnifies your solo campaign for how much people you gather, which is kind of weird, to say the least. That they made the multiplayer coexist inside the single player for that. It's huge. I've at least put easily 120 hours into it. Mass Effect 3, Mass Effect 2, I put at least almost 600 hours into it.
Jeez.
It's a huge story arc. It's amazing, and you can change it every time.
Now, of course, one of the things about Mass Effect 3 was that when it first came out was the ending.
Yes, there was people got so pissed off with that and with the endings, and I don't blame them. I thought, if you want me to do spoilers or no? I mean,
Yeah,
the game's
spoilers,
been out for 2 years. Okay, spoiler alert. At the end of it, if you got 100% completion, or if you gathered the entire army, got everything, she knows I'm doing this. You got 3 options. One was the good or the Paragon. The other was the evil badass, and then the third one was synthesize. Or somebody else. Yeah, synthesis.
And I would argue that the Paragon is not really Paragon, that the synthesis is really the Paragon option.
Well, that's the kicker, though. If you get 100% completion and you do the badass one, you get another cutscene, which you see Shepard waking up.
Yeah.
Rejecting the robots and the bad guys. Like, he blew up the Citadel, and then you see him waking up as the next scene, where the other ones show this long and tangent bullcrap. But the thing before that, what many people had problems with the ending was, it was basically just a light show. Blue, if you got Paragon, it was a blue light show. If you got synthesis, I can't say that word today.
Synthesis.
It was synthesis. It was green, and if you did the bad guy or the badass one, it was red. And if you didn't get the 100% completion, it just ended the same way at all 3 of them.
And it's still kind of that way. The DLC gave you a 4th option, which most people don't even realize exists, and that's that you can shoot Starchild.
Yeah, and it completely ignores it, and everyone dies.
Yeah, basically everyone dies. But then it's like in the next cycle, everything works out or whatever. Also, at the very end, that cutscene of like the dude and the kid walking, that's Buzz Aldrin doing the voice, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so I decided to go back a little bit to good old '90s arcade, and one of the things that I put a whole bunch of quarters to, it was the Star Trek: The Next Generation pinball game.
Nice.
It sounds like we've got at least one person that played this.
I've spent many quarters in both that and the Addams Family pinball.
Oh, Addams Family, yeah. I couldn't get into Addams Family. I think the Terminator one that was out around the same time was the other one.
Joker's Wild a lot.
Joker's Wild. Oh my God.
Breakaway.
Sure.
And the Doctor Who one.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So, but yeah, the Star Trek Next
Sorry, go on.
Generation one. One of my favorite things about that game is that they put the voices of the cast in there, and at one point, if you lose your ball like really fast, data will start chiming up saying if you had hit the ball at the proper trajectory, you would have been rewarded. Well, if you hit like one of the flippers while he's saying that, Picard will come in and say, "Shut up, Mr. Data," and you get like 1,000,000 points. It's awesome. But yeah, they had the Borg in it, they had Q in it, they had all kinds of stuff. There was like this mechanic where you had to hit as high of a warp speed as you could, stuff like that. And it was a very involved game, but really what did it for me was all the voice acting and stuff like that. It was great. So yeah, a little bit of pinball. I think it's the first time we've done a pinball game on the podcast.
Pinball is something that I kind of wish was still more popular and around, because as a kid, when I played pinball, the only thing that I cared about was not having the ball go between the flippers.
Pretty much.
I mean, that was all I could do. And now, like as I'm older and I look at them, I realize there's this whole meta game on what you were supposed to be doing.
Yep. Yeah, that's really. Yeah, I remember that as well, going through that process where, oh, this is neat. There's a ball here. I'm gonna hit it over here. Hit it over there. Oh, I went through the middle. Darn. But no, there's like all sorts of different things you can do in the game. Like another one of mine was Twister. You guys remember the movie Twister?
I remember playing that one.
There was a pinball game made out of that, and I was a god at that one. I was pretty good at Star Trek. I was way better at Twister. But yeah, I mean, it's just all kinds of funny little things that you never figure out unless you start doing all the little side quests where you have to hit these 3 things over there and trigger this over there. Pinball is a very complex game when done right, and it can be a lot of fun. So yeah.
Cute.
Veg, can you give us a update on the Challenger Series? Maybe not.
Kid was looking over his shoulder, wasn't paying attention to the task at hand.
Well, that's where I was looking. His TV's over there. And Veg is talking and saying nothing. It's awesome.
Oh, hey, mute talking.
Kid was
Let's
mute.
go on the Championship Series.
I think Curse Academy lost the first game.
Curse Academy. No surprise there. I mean, Coast is the heavily favored one. We're getting into our League of Legends update with the LCS update. First
Time
of all,
for Pent to get a drink.
Yep. First of all,
I'm empty.
Veg, congratulations. You've won the Fantasy LCS.
Yay, both of them actually.
I didn't look at the other one. But,
Show got destroyed. He's like 1-9.
But yeah, Veg is 7-3. Coles and Show are 5-5, and I'm bringing up the basement due to my 3 consecutive weeks of failure of losing by less than 5 points. And then last week I lost by less than 10. So it's like, I just can't win. So 3 and 7.
Hey, don't feel too bad. Cole's lost by 3.
Well, Coles is going to beat me no matter what. But it just sucks. The Super Week means nothing.
Yeah, just EP stroking.
Pretty much. So yeah, let's talk about the. Let's go ahead and talk about the. Well, let's first get with the European regional finals. Alliance takes it.
Yeah, I knew they were going to.
Yeah, Alliance looked like a beast this year. And they went wire to wire as well. So.
The thing was, the spring split for them looked horrible because they were all in pieces.
Yeah.
Because they were just getting to know each other, and then once they pulled together, it just got scary.
Right. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's Fnatic's got that first round bye. Do you think they can be stopped?
Fnatic, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Because it seems to me like that whenever Fnatic hits a rough patch, and then it's like playoff time, they put the pedal to the metal.
And then they go right to the floor.
Oh, they've won every split so far they've been in. Because
but they haven't played against a decent alliance yet.
That's true, because Alliance and Fnatic are like really the powerhouses right now. But you got, it's kind of funny because these middle four teams, Super Hot Crews, SK Gaming, Millennium, and Rockhat, they finished within 4 games of each other. And I just don't see any of them having the same kind of consistency that Alliance and Fnatic had.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I hate Super Hot Crew. I want them to drop.
3rd place, man.
Ugh.
The last-minute addition to the LCS in the spring.
Ugh.
And, of course, relegation going to Gambit Gaming and Copenhagen Wolves. Although Gambit Gaming stopped a really large slide. And actually
kind of happy that
tiebreaker to get 7th place. So they'll have.
And that's another team I want gone is Copenhagen Wolves.
You don't like Broken Shard?
Whiny little bastard. They're cheating. They're using objects in the game that are actually.
Right. Yeah, that was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was this week.
They did it again.
Super Week. No, this was this week, Ron. During the Super Week, it was on Wednesday, when Alliance beat them so bad they bought the snowball items.
Didn't we talk about that last week on the podcast?
No. Did we?
I'm pretty sure we did.
No, we talked something. Wait.
Yep, it was last week.
Was it?
Yep.
Whiny little bastards.
But yeah, so you're upset. They start, I believe, Thursday. With
the
quarterfinals, and they'll end at Gamescom. So hopefully.
It's just. I'll be right back. Sorry.
Oh. We lost Veg.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and that was a BRB too. We'll give him a little bit to return here. Get another drink. Yeah, it was really sudden too. Yeah, we got another bomb here too.
Oh, nice.
This is weird. We don't get anywhere near this amount of. Traffic. We don't even get we very rarely get any kind of troll traffic. Like I said, it's only happened once to me previously.
That was crazy, just for that warning as well, and all of a sudden they just started showing up.
Yeah. Apparently the straw poll things are actually legitimate. Yeah, there we go.
Sorry about that. I'm making sloppy joes for tonight.
So yeah, that's the European.
Well,
LCS.
yeah, I just love the fact that the very last game was an awesome one. It was a troll game.
Yeah, that was a great game.
That was nothing but EP stroking for points.
Yeah, Millennium and basically what happens, the last game of the split was Alliance and Millennium, and their positions were locked. They couldn't go up, they couldn't go down. So they just started playing a complete troll game. Like
I'm sad they banned TMO.
Yeah, they should have had a Teemo in there. There was an Ashe jungling. Ashe is normally a markswoman.
That was the best part about it, and it wrecked.
Yeah,
that's the worst part about it.
Well, apparently you'd done it before professionally.
Yeah, you did. It was last year.
First time doing it, so hey, whatever works, go with it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, we're in the middle of the North American Super Week, last week of the regular season, before the summer tournament. And so far, it looks like LMQ is going to stay in the driver's seat.
Well, no. Cloud9's tied with them right now.
They're tied with them, yeah, but LMQ does not have a hard schedule left.
Well, that's what we say now, and we've seen major upsets.
That's true. Curse did beat him today, but I really think that I'm not too convinced that Cloud9 and TSM are going to catch him, because we've seen Cloud9 lose games too.
Yeah, but Cloud9 looks like Cloud9's been also very consistent. I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know if they have their heads up their ass or something. Lemon's notebook says otherwise, but you know.
All right. But yeah, TSM lost a couple games this week, and it's just crazy. But of course, the big announcement out of the NALCS was Counter Logic Gaming. Monte Cristo decided that since Seraph, their top laner, can't be in the U.S. this week due to visa issues, he's just going to send their whole team over to Korea and let substitutions play out the rest of their season. Well, that's provided some entertaining games. They're 0-3 this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna laugh hysterically if they get a game or if they win a game.
They win a game. They came close. They came close against Complexity, but Complexity said no. We're not going to go 80 minutes. We're just going to kill you now.
It's embarrassing to say the least. Basically, it's like if they threw me, Ron, basically this entire crew,
Well, no, because these guys are still professional gamers. Hotshot GT and Nien have been there before. Nothing new to them. So.
Hey, I've been casting in front of hundreds of people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting because a lot of
you're being a professional League of Legends player now.
Yeah. There's still a possibility that first place can end in a three-way tie as well. And
it sounds like NA slowly becoming EU.
I know, right? and EU, I wouldn't say they become NA, but we didn't have any 24-4 or 25-3 teams this year.
Yeah, so. Thank God.
But yeah, so that'll be wrapping up tomorrow. There's 5 games left. And of course, they got the summer promotional series going on. H2K withdrew.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised by that.
I wasn't.
That they had a chance at a bye and threw it away.
What happens was there's a lot of internal struggling. Basically, the players are going at each other's throats and stuff like that, and it was just.
That's always fun. Yeah. They need to get a manager like Sharon in there to.
Well, they got their shit together. That's not the problem.
Yeah. And then of course, right now, like Team Coast and Curse Academy are going at it for first place in the summer promotional tournament. And then of course,
Coast won the first one.
Certain number of points, and they'll play one more tournament later on to determine who the top 3 are, who will face the bottom 3 from the LCS to try to get their shot at the professional leagues. So
basically, if they get the shot, they get some good chance at some real money.
All right. So, yeah, we've got more TSM news, and for that, we'll send it over to Pantherian for his gold goblining tip of the week.
So this is for the other kind of TSM. TSM for WoW is Trade Skill Master.
I was going to say the shitty market, but go on.
The Undermine Journal, which used to be kind of the de facto site for finding out, and I've spoken about it before in Wakshan, for finding good deals and finding out what things you should be selling since they're shut down. They talked about they should be opening up again before the expansion, but I don't think that's going to happen. So TSM has made a power play and is now doing most of the same things that Undermine Journal had been doing. So they've updated the app, and now on their website, it's a pretty clean website, pretty easy to use, and you can get seller information and posting information and all kinds of stuff. So that's if you had used the desktop app and you had used any of their website stuff before, you need to update it. And if you hadn't, now's a good time to check it out because it's got a lot of good new stuff.
Yeah, I've used TSM in the past. It's kind of a little clunky for me, but I have used it for blacksmithing and stuff like that. So. Yeah,
TSM, I mean, it takes a bit to set it up, but once you get it set up, it's incredibly powerful, especially if you move a lot of volume and you do a lot of crafting and selling. It's incredibly valuable in terms of letting you know which of all your things are profitable to make, which is nice.
Very nice.
Sounds like EVE Online needs something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. Brox, do you have a tip?
Yeah, just
to the Gold Goblin.
Yeah, just a little bit for the Gold Goblin stuff. it's just a simple tip that a lot of people don't think of, but it can be important to determine when to buy and sell on the auction house. And it's something a lot of people don't think about, but a lot of it's just common sense. I mean, if you're looking at selling enchantments, things like that, a lot of folks go out there and get all the rating done on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yep, and usually between the hours of 5 o'clock to 1 a.m.
Right, and you move a lot of volume then. Not going to move as quick on the weekend, but the weekend is when a lot of folks go out there with their alts. So, like for example, I played the glyph market. I move a ton of volume on the weekends because everybody's on there. They're starting with new alts, leveling them up, and hey, they want to buy a full set of glyphs to go with it.
I feel like for you and Penth, it sounds more like a marketing second career job more than a video game.
It sometimes does turn out like that.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, a lot of times I've gone several weeks where all I do is log in and manipulate the market and jump out. Just because I don't have the time for rating, whereas I can go in and spend 20 minutes on the auction house, reposting what I have, resetting the markets, frustrating some of the new competition out of the market, and you call it a day.
Of course, sometimes you get in and you realize you have to restock, and so you buy $20,000 to $30,000 gold worth of materials, and then you craft, and then you move back and forth to the auction house and the mailbox and everything. And then, so 2 hours later, when you've done posted everything, you realize that you could have just raided anyway.
But there are ways to get around that. I mean, there's some things like Consortium Key Sender that technically does not violate the terms of service because you're still at your computer, you're still moving your keyboard and mouse, and it's just sending those keystrokes to WoW as you're doing other things, which is really helpful for whenever you're just doing, like for me, when I'm sitting there milling, 400 stacks of herbs, I can sit there and use CKS to do it as I'm doing something else on the computer, and it's just sending.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, and I remember when I was doing the enchanting stuff on Alberth, when I'd, basically buy up all the low greens and disenchant them and sell the mats. That usually would take me up to an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is a time sink, but on the other hand, as far as I'm concerned, if this is something that you enjoy doing in game, and there are a lot of people that enjoy this kind of thing, hey, go for it. If you like making lots of money, if that's one of your goals in game.
Hey, Penth.
You can't have any gold.
Please.
I mean, seriously, how many of you guys played Legend of Zelda and absolutely had to farm up 255 rupees?
Well, there was an easy way to do that because there's a route you could do that you get those little blue spiders and they drop the blue rupees more often than not.
Oh, the graveyard was the best for that.
Graveyard was good, but then even before going there without dying in 2 shots, there was go kind of on the coast in the southeast side of the map. And you just make a big loop, keep going in a big loop, get it in no time at all.
Yeah, I mean, hitting
nerds.
Absolutely, that's why you're on this podcast, Veg. Hitting the gold cap in a game is like it's like a big deal. I mean, it's a goal that some people.
Well, I can't say anything. I have right now. I think 700 million on GTA 5.
There you go.
So and then like the final tip for buying and selling, it's not just whenever you're selling things; it's also when you're buying things. What a lot of people don't realize is the timer on the auction house keeps running whenever the realm is down for maintenance. So if you see something on the auction house that's got a high buyout price but a ridiculously low bid price and it has a little bit of time left and the server's about to go down for Tuesday maintenance, put a bid on it and just hope nobody else gets on there because chances are the server comes back up, that item's sitting in your mailbox. That timer keeps on running whenever it's down for maintenance.
Yep.
Did not know that.
I've done that before. I'll get on like early Tuesday morning, buy up all those greens. Get those 1 copper bids in there.
It's kind of. I think it's funny that people forget that you can still do the bids and this is 500,000 gold bid price 1 copper.
Yep. But anyway, so any other gold goblining tips from either of the?
Nope.
I got one.
Nope. Is it serious?
Yes.
What is it?
The battered hilt from the ICC 5-mans.
I feel like we've gone over this before.
We've gone over something similar.
Like we've talked about the battered hilt as a way to make money.
Have we?
Yeah.
Well, it's still a good way to get money if you're bored and you feel like murdering things.
Yeah. People still buy that up because it's.
And I gotta go. The baby's crying. I'll be back.
All right. So anyway, I'm going to go
Did
ahead
that
and
word?
move.
I thought that was mine that was crying. I'm like, do I need to get up?
Crying kids. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the 6 minutes to release guild news, and I have some good news, everybody. Garrosh is dead again.
And I was there
Edge
for
was
it.
there.
Yay, my mount.
Edge.
And my axe.
Yes. All right. Yeah, you got Gorehal too. That's pretty good.
Yeah, too bad it wasn't Warforged, but hey, I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't get there last week. We didn't even get any attempts in on them. We actually.
We got our asses handed to us a couple times.
Yeah, it was pretty poor effort, I think, last week in terms of trying to clear the stuff as fast as possible so we could get there. So we ended up extending because we figure we still want to get Garrosh down as much as we can because he drops those delicious weapons, and not just the one that Veg got, but the weapons that you can pass on to other characters as well.
Yeah, the BOA are bound on account.
So those things are nice to have, and I'd like to get as many people as possible who want those weapons to get them. So unfortunately, we had to extend it, and of course, we got it before break on Tuesday, which basically locks 10 people out to Siege of Orgrimmar for the entire week. But we got Garrosh. That's the important thing. We got.
I don't give a shit about that. I'm happy I killed him.
Right?
I want my Warwolf.
Yeah. We got a couple heroic bosses in Heart of Fear. Wednesday we did not have a raid because we didn't have enough people show up. So,
I was asleep, sorry.
Yeah. But I did something.
I partied hard after the siege.
Did you watch all that anime you have?
No, for fun. No, I've been done with Attack on Titan. I've been watching some of the Dragon Ball series.
There you go. But yeah, I did something. I did something productive instead of raiding. I got Dari's League of Legends working, and she has been playing a lot. So it took a while. It's something stupid with Adobe Air. I had the same problem when I was when I reinstalled the first time. So,
for some reason, fortunately for me, mine fixed itself.
Yeah, that's good. We gotta get you in the game, Richard.
Yeah, that's what everybody keeps telling me. Because I know y'all play it, my brother-in-law plays it, and I mean it's funny. My sister-in-law was telling me. She said, "Yeah, for John's birthday, I bought him something for this game, League of Legends. I paid real money to buy fake money to go in the game. I don't really understand what my life has come to."
Very nice.
She's definitely not a gamer, so it was really funny coming from her. She's like, "I don't really understand what it is, but you wanted money for something that I pay real money for. I don't get it."
But yeah, basically you pay real money for in-game currency called Riot Points, and then you get to spend the Riot Points on various things in game, including character skins.
You know what Microsoft points are?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, same idea. So it buys exclusive content that you can't get in game, or there's some things you can actually buy stuff that you can get in game with the influence points that you get.
And we talked about it before. Everything that you buy is either to buy a champion or to unlock it early, ward skins, or just skin. They're basically all cosmetics. They don't break the game. It's not pay to win like some games are, and that's another reason why Riot's also freaking billionaires.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
It's one of those games that I keep meaning to try to learn how to play, and I admit I have a little fear about it. I mean, some of the stuff I've read says, I jump into a game to have people scream at you for 30 minutes.
If you're gonna play, and we've gone over this a little bit. If you're gonna play, let Ron know, or let Veg know,
or let
someone from the guild know and play with them.
Yeah, the less retards in the group, the better.
Yes. Because you can
Window
have
looking
whole
good.
group for
Window looking good.
Veg. No, Veg.
Oh no.
Oh, that was scary.
The mouse, your light flashed before your eyes. Mouse of the void.
Oh, Veg's void. Ugh.
Kid gets up close, licks the window.
All right. Let's put all this stuff together and do Shosan's favorite part of the show. What the fuck are you listening to? I mean, really, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
So I came up with this one this week, and I asked, what song has your favorite guitar solo in it? We did something similar a while back, which was your favorite guitarist, but we didn't actually get to the song. So I wanted to bring this up and see what you guys came up with. So I'm going to start with Penn.
So this was the last song from Guitar Hero 3, which was Through the Fire and Flames by Dragon Force.
That song is amazing.
And it's hard enough to play on a plastic guitar with only 5 fake fret buttons and a little bar that you strum up and down, and to realize that that the guy plays the actual song on a real guitar is just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite band of all time. It's good workout music, but just the technical difficulty of this is just so impressive to me that I think it's probably my favorite.
Well, the weird thing with Dragon Force is they have 2 lead guitarists.
Mm-hmm.
And then a bassist, and then the lead singer, and then the synth and drummer.
They don't really have lead guitar.
Well,
they have so much guitar, they need 2 players to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty much.
A rhythm guitar, I mean. They don't have rhythm guitar.
I don't think they have
They
that.
just have 2 lead guitar.
But yeah, I remember playing this at my brother-in-law's house once, and I'm fairly decent at Guitar Hero. I can do the hards. I couldn't even do the medium level.
Oh yeah, there is one controller I did break. That was the guitar for that fucking game. I actually broke. I literally, it's a $70 controller, and I broke it because I was like any good old-fashioned rock star on the damn ground. My mom goes. I literally made my mom go, "What the hell did you do up there? We're just hearing you screaming and banging. Are you a damn ape?" I was like, "This stuff I game." She goes, yeah, and she screams at me. She goes, "It's just a damn game. It's 3 a.m. on Tuesday. I have work."
That makes it even better.
Very proud.
Oh my god, yeah. I forgot about that. I honestly did.
That's amazing. Yeah, but I've also played it on what's that game? It's the game on Steam, Audio Surf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's still hard there too. It's freaking ridiculous.
I've actually one of my friends got this go watch him in concert, and he says when they weren't drunk, he says the guitar playing was amazing.
You know, Karthus and Pentakill was from Dragon Force.
Yes, that was awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. There's some good guitar solos on that too. I won't lie, but yeah.
Yep.
All right, Brox.
Yeah, so I was kind of torn on this one. I mean, my favorite solo overall is Anesthesia of Metallica, but it's not really. Some people would say it's not guitar; it's bass, even though he makes it sound like a guitar at times. So I couldn't pick that one. So then You Stole November Rain, and then
spoiler alert.
Sorry,
douche.
And whoops. And so I said, okay, how about Top Gun theme? It's a simple solo, but it's a pretty good solo. It sounds reasonably tough to play. I mean, I've got my fingers are too fat to play guitar, even though I've tried for a good 10 years. I'm used to playing bass instead, and so I can't play it. But it's that's a nice solo. It makes you think of America. So yeah.
America, fuck yeah.
That's with mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes and coleslaw. Oh.
All right. Badge, why don't you tell us what you got for What the Talk?
Mine's also, is a Metallica song.
Have to have some Metallica in here.
Gotta have Metallica. I was crossed between 2 as well. The one I was crossed between was Orion, which is them just playing instrumental. They try to do that with every soundtrack or every album they come out with. I don't know if they did it for the last 2, which was Saint Anger, and then I don't remember what the last one's called because I don't care. I listened to one song from it, and I'm like, nope, I'm done. But the one I picked was For Whom the Bell Tolls, which just right off the bat was just a kick-ass guitar solo.
Absolutely.
And it just lines it up for the song, and it's just awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the things that I find about good guitar solos is that it really fits the song that it's in. It's not just there for the sake of being a guitar solo, you know?
Yeah, like kind of like how a lot of the screamo bands that I used to listen to just no, and then it just goes into a random freaking guitar. So I was like, where the hell did this come from?
Yeah, right.
It's like random bad singing next to really really bad guitar solo.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to bed. Good night.
Yeah, Metallica. Gotta have Metallica. Mandatory.
You got to.
Whiskey in the jar. Oh.
That's not actually them that ever.
Yeah, that's true.
What did you just say?
That wasn't them that did the original song for that.
Yes, obviously. It's an old Irish song.
Have you heard Metallica's rendition of Tuesday's Gone?
Maybe.
Yeah, it was in the Garage
Yeah, it was
album
in
that
Garage,
they did.
yeah.
That song's
That's
awesome.
where Whiskey in the
They did
Jar
that
comes
awesome.
from.
Yeah, I don't know. I refuse to acknowledge that Metallica is a band after Load. After that point, I was like, okay, they've sold out. I'm done. I'm just listening to old stuff.
Their concerts are pretty badass though. Still, they play a majority of their old stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of people draw that line at Load. They think that was a big load.
Mm-hmm.
A poopy. Of the poo poo.
That was part of the poll that was posted to our chat not too long ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I think just as much as you have to have Metallica in there, I also thought you really have to have Guns N' Roses and Slash. I just think Slash is an amazing guitarist, and the one that I picked probably isn't one of his more technical songs, but November Rain was my choice, as Richard pointed out a little earlier. Thank you very much.
Apologies. I'm sorry.
Now, and here's why I picked this song. Has anyone seen the video for the song?
No.
It's been a long time.
So basically, what happens is like right before the solo.
Back when MTV had music.
Yeah, right.
That's true. Yeah.
Right before the solo happens, Slash is walking out of this church in the middle of nowhere with these tumbleweeds and everything going by, and he just sits right in front of this church and just starts jamming this guitar solo. It's awesome. I love Slash. It's a very nice.
And if it was a Norwegian black metal song, the church would be burning.
No, the church wasn't burning.
Okay, good.
But the bride did die in the end of that video.
Huh.
Yeah, she's dead at the end of the video. So, yeah. And I actually looked this up a little later, and apparently some major publication put out this particular song had the number 6 guitar solo of all time. That kind of surprised me. Because I didn't think that was, like I said, it's not very technically, it's nothing like Through the Fire and the Flames.
Well, no, but you got to appreciate a guitar solo where it is.
But yeah, like I said, it's something that fits the
song. What was
yeah.
number 1 out of curiosity? Was it Stairway to Heaven?
I'd have to look. I did see that the Sweet Child of Mine was the number 1 riff, or number 1 riff.
Yeah, I can see that.
All time. Yeah.
That song is catchy as hell too.
Right. So, yeah, November Rain, Guns N' Roses. Any other big ones you think we missed?
Oh, I'm pretty sure there's a bunch.
Oh, I'm sure that, yeah.
Because there's a couple from Slayer, even though they're thrash metal. Yeah. They don't really focus on guitar solos because of thrash metal. It's just bang and slam the guitar as hard as you can.
Do everything as fast as you can.
Pretty much.
You could argue that Jessica is a giant guitar solo.
That's true.
Jessica, is that one?
No, the.
Oh, that's Jesse's girl. Never mind.
Wow, that's a big miss. Well done, Veg. And without further ado, we're going to conclude What the Fuck for the week. We've had a whole bunch of stuff this week. We've had Veg's Massive Maw. We've had Troll Chat. We've had...
They wanted to see my boobs for some reason.
We've had everything this week. But we're going to give you more because we've got our closing arguments this week. And I believe, Veg, you put this up here, did you not?
I did it.
No, Pent did.
I put this out. So I think, Pent, me and you may come to the same conclusion here. But go ahead. What is our closing argument for the week?
It is what is the most powerful attack, weapon, spell, or other type of anything that's in any kind of media. So, any kind of book, movie, game, probably doomsday weapon type thing. So what is the most powerful, and what would win in a fight of the most powerful stuff?
Do you want to go first or do you want to go last?
I can do either.
All right, let's have you go first because I have an idea. I think I know what you're going to say.
Well, I have two that are somewhat similar, and the first would be from Doctor Who. When in the new Doctor Who, when Davros tries to basically end all of reality with a reality bomb.
Yep.
So that, and then a similar one. See, the thing is, he's ending all reality, so that would probably be the biggest one. The secondary one would be from whichever Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy book, and I don't remember which one it is, but the supernova bomb that basically creates wormholes between the hearts of all stars in the galaxy or in the universe and blows up the whole universe. But that's just one reality.
Yeah, the thing with the reality bomb is that apparently that bomb itself, if I remember right, would only, it wouldn't go, didn't have anything to go into like other dimensions or anything, but apparently there was like something open to another dimension that they could do, or a whole bunch of other dimensions that it would just rip through that too. It's pretty bitchin'. The one I picked, and you have to be like a total Star Wars nerd to even know what this is the Galaxy Gun.
Yes.
And the Galaxy Gun basically is, think of the Death Star's weapon, except this thing can like go through hyperspace. It can target an entire planet. It can target only a city. It's got huge destruction power and amazing accuracy. So that was like my backup choice to the reality bomb.
Mine would be the ship that Luke Skywalker has from the Star Wars universe. I forget what it's called. I'm really bad with memory with it. But basically, it was indestructible.
What the internet's for? You gotta look it up on the internet, man. Luke Skywalker's indestructible ship.
It was so powerful that it could go through any other ship. It was that they were so scared of it, basically, that they actually ended up throwing it into the sun, even though they know it wouldn't destroy it, but no one else could get to it.
Sun Crusher.
Yeah, the Sun Crusher.
There you go.
So I went a little more subtle for this one and said some sort of compulsion spell. Make other people do your bidding without them realizing they're doing it. You can cause a lot of damage that way.
So, in other words, your wife?
No, well... All right, you got me there.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what the biggest weapon that threatens all of mankind.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I agree.
Well, not the women's.
It's such a heavy burden,
that's why I said
Mr.
mankind,
Frodo.
not womankind. Very nice. Very nice.
The one ring to rule them all. That is a Mormon commune.
Here we go with the Mormons again.
Yeah.
And on that note, we're going to.
Not my fault they beat on the door.
We're just
Talking about Joseph Smith, the American
and we have Mormons. I'm done, guys. All right, so this has been another amazing episode of the Six Gaming Podcast. Once again, for the Deployed Chosun, I'm Runckley.
I'm Veg.
I'm Ben.
I'm Brox.
And this is Six Gaming. See you, bye.
Adios, amigos.